Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we will be previewing Downtown Chase. This will be published by Precept Games, and it is designed by Jenko and Vukasin Nizovic.
All right, so you've got this shady character, Johnny the Quick. He is the baddest dude in town. He has upset everyone.
Bad. Johnny the Quick. He's the baddest. Okay, never mind.
All right, so we as collectives, we're all not exactly good people either. Maybe we're some criminals as well, but he's worse, and we want to be the one to take him out.
Yeah.
So thank you, police officer, for our vigilante justice that we're trying to extend to this Johnny
You
the
mean
Quick.
you're welcome?
Yeah, you're welcome. Did I say thank you?
Yeah.
You're welcome to the police. All right, yeah. This game, you're chasing him down. You make sure you have the exact right location and the right weapons to take him out. Let me show you how it looks. All right, here's our setup for Downtown Chase. We have a huge board here in front of us. Along the side here, we have all our victory point tracker. And then along the bottom of the board, it's so big I had to kind of turn it sideways. But anyways, the whole bottom part there is the round tracker. All right, so then we have all these different locations all over the board that we're going to be roaming around to, trying to take out Johnny the Quick. He starts in the middle of the board here. That's our infamous villain there, Johnny the Quick. He's going to start in the middle of the board, and we're going to be chasing him around, trying to take him out. Every player also is going to have their own player board. It's going to have some stats on it, like punch strength and stamina. A lot of that's used for dueling. How much movement you can use in a turn. A special ability, perhaps. And some health points. You're going to start at 5 health points. By the way, this is an advanced copy. Everything is subject to change that you see here. Maybe the card art, maybe a little bit of the mechanics, maybe even the minis might change a little bit. This is a prototype, so all that is subject to change. So the first thing we need to do is we need to pin down Johnny the Quick in a location. At the beginning of the game, what we're going to do is we're going to have one of these route cards. There's a whole bunch of them. Basically, you randomly select one at the beginning of the game. He follows that route for the first 2 rounds of the game. Basically, just walks along that route, and then comes back, or walks along the route, comes back, based off of the pips on a d6 that you roll, how many spots he goes. At the end of the second round, however, what you're going to do is you're going to roll the d6 just like before to see how many spots he goes. But from here on out, whenever he gets to an intersection, you're going to roll this directional dice that has a left, right, and a forward on it. And basically he's going to take whatever path the dice tells him to. Each one of these locations on the board does have a weapon on it. So for instance, we have kind of a sniper rifle there. We've got a grenade there. We've got a handgun over here. What we've got a whole deck of different weapons that we're going to be drawing through that has all these different weapons as well as weapon modifiers. And what we're trying to find is the exact right weapon to be in the right exact location in order to pull the trigger. We also have some special abilities that can help with dueling as well. Dueling is when 2 characters that are not Johnny the Quick meet in the same spot, in which case you have a duel. Basically, who wins the duel, you're going to be awarded some victory points. In addition to having the exact right weapon that you need per location, you also need a location card. So you have a whole deck of location cards here. It shows exactly where they are on the map. You have to have that location card as well as the correct gun in order to be able to take a shot at assassinating Johnny the Quick. If you are lucky enough to make that circumstance happen where you have the correct weapon and the correct location while he is in that location, then you get a chance to assassinate him. So this is that board. This is kind of like an aiming, targeting board. Each weapon has its own shape, kind of all along the bottom here. There's kind of a clear overlay that you move around that is the shape of that weapon. You have 4 chances to roll the dice, and based off the dice, you get a certain amount of movement. And then you're going to move along this until you actually are targeting at him. He also has a bodyguard that starts over in the corner. It's going to try over here and going to try to block you. But if you're able to get over to this area, not be blocked, you are going to roll to see what your strength is, based off of what the weapon was, based off if there's any modifiers. And then he has a defensive value of 4, plus whatever his modifiers are. But if you're able to do damage to him, you are going to win the game. If for some reason you are blocked, or you miss, or maybe you don't even want to pull the trigger for some reason, you still get victory points for that. The way this is going to work is, the first person to kill Johnny the Quick wins the game. But if for some reason by the end of the 12th round, if he has not been taken out, then it comes down to whoever has the most victory points. And remember, victory points come from taking a shot at Johnny the Quick, but maybe not actually killing him, or dueling with your opponents. There's also a whole deck of player interaction cards here. Basically, these all say different things, like it kind of moves Johnny the Quick around, or maybe changes his direction, or adds police officers or removes police officers. There's all these little minis and figurines that can kind of block your movement, hinder your plans. So you want to use all those to the best of your ability.
There was this really interesting part of the game to where when you were trying to finally attack Johnny the Quick, all the different weapons had different shapes on them. And so then you would do a series of rolling on the board to move it closer over to where his body was. And there's also this bodyguard blocking you. And I thought it's really interesting in how all the different shapes, or all the different weapons had different shapes that you could move them and manipulate on that board. And I hadn't seen anything like that before, so that was fun to see.
Yeah, I think that this game has conflict, but only if you want it. It is avoidable. The more players you have, obviously, the more likely you are to have some conflict. But whenever you're on the same spot as someone, you initiate that duel, which the duel is it kind of lowers your stats if you lose and that kind of stuff. So you want to avoid it for that reason. However, you get victory points. And if ever Johnny the Quick isn't, by the end of the game killed, it comes down to victory points. So you want to make sure you get some victory points, and dueling is a great way to do that. There's lots of weapons that are specifically for dueling, and a lot of special abilities that are specifically geared towards dueling. So yes, it is avoidable, but if you want it, it's there for you.
Speaking of needing to eliminate Johnny the Quick, no player plays him, right? But he's still moving throughout the board. They have this system to where the Johnny the Quick has this arrow on him, and I'm sure Ryan talked about this already. But it was a nice way to create some randomness, like controlled randomness. So the players still had to do stuff, and there was cards that would manipulate that. But for the first couple of rounds, like building stuff up, like he's still moving about the board, and then from then on out, you want to try to manipulate that, which you can, to get him to move to where you need to move to. So I just hadn't seen that done before.
I thought it was really tricky. It's kind of a puzzle to solve. You had to dig for these specific cards in order to take out Johnny the Quick. You need to be, if you're going to take him out with a sniper rifle, first of all, you need to have the sniper rifle, and then you need to be sitting at the proper buildings in order to be able to have a line of sight of him. Or if you're going to blow him up while he's on a bridge, you need to make sure he's on a bridge, make sure you're at the bridge, and make sure you have the remote detonator or whatever it was. So you needed to have all these different perfect scenarios that you needed to kind of cultivate and manipulate the board in order to have happen in order to take your shot at taking him out. So I thought that was a really interesting, kind of puzzle you had to solve, and kind of you couldn't do it right away. You had to kind of dig for those cards to make it happen, and then once you got him, you had to kind of steer him your way or whatever the case was, or have a whole bunch of weapons, and that way you're ready for any scenario and just wherever you want.
But you have a hand limit.
That's
so
true.
You can't have
That's
a
true
ton
as well.
of stuff. You gotta work for something. Well, if anything we said sounds interesting to you, this is coming to Kickstarter mid-October.
All right, you guys, if you want to hear more from us, be sure to subscribe to us so you can hear our latest videos as they come out. We're also on Facebook, Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. On on Twitter, the other one that's things to happen on, at Ryan and Bethany 1. And on Instagram, we've always got cool photos going up there, at Ryan and Bethany. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.